Hello EOS community, this is Roman of CryptoLions. Today is March 28th and today I will discuss all the referenda which have more than 1 million votes, and I will articulate the CryptoLions position on each of them. Now, as we were going through these, we developed 3 principles. Firstly, we will assume that referendums are changes that affect everyone, so that they're changes to the code or to the governing documents or to the system contracts or maybe to the procedures that we developed as a community. So there are a few things in here. It's like great idea, but it doesn't really affect everybody. So on those we will abstain. Number 2, major governance changes, mainly the adoption of a new constitution or user agreement, we will abstain on with a memo that articulates our preference. We are doing this because there's too much, in our view, confusion in the community about the correct procedure for adopting a new constitution. We articulated our views in this article published yesterday, EOS as a Frontier. So we will abstain, but we will let people know our preference. And thirdly, no experimentation. So some of these changes, you can't tell if it's good or bad, it's just different. We think that should be done on a sidechain. So let's get started, and let's go this way from the least popular to the most popular. So of the referendums with more than 1 million votes, the smallest one has almost 1.5 million. Block producers should be paid more tokens when the USD EOS price is lower, and fewer tokens should be when the USD EOS price is higher. No, let's be good entrepreneurs, accept the risk, and reap the rewards. So that one's quite easy. Let's remove the yes-no visible percentages in referendums. Okay, this is a reaction to the user interface. So you can see here on Blocks.io, it very clearly shows the percentages that referendums have. So, I don't know, nice idea. We will abstain because we do not consider this to be community business. Return the 4% inflation to staked voters. No, let's burn it. Let's burn it. We want to make sure that the inflation goes to productive people, productive parties. We think it's better to burn it. Increase the block producers to 100. We vote no. We think that this would create just too many sort of sock puppet block producers, and by that I mean block producers who aren't even running servers or running software. They just register and collect votes, and then collect inflation. Increase to 200. That's a no for the same reason. Make the unstaking period 30 days instead of 3 days. This is a very, very interesting change of incentives that you could probably debate a lot about without getting any clarity. It's the type of experimentation that should happen on a side chain. So we vote no. Ability to be notified of new referendum proposals. Great idea. There are a lot of EOS alert systems. One of our favorites was built by the great guys at EOS Authority. I wouldn't be surprised if they eventually come out with one for referendums. So we will abstain because we don't think this is necessarily community business. It's kind of already being done, or this type of thing is being done, if not the specific one yet. So great idea, abstain. 1 person, 1 vote, max 30 votes. Very few details in this poorly written referendum. We vote no, not necessarily because it's a bad idea, but it's just experimentation. EOS to fund a true identity project. Okay, here is one of the few referendums where we are disagreeing with the community. For several reasons. I'm actually surprised that this has overwhelming yes, because fund from where? It doesn't even say in the proposal how it would be funded. Secondly, there are a few identity projects in the works, the most significant of which seems like it's going to come from Block 1 with their June 1st announcement. So we vote no, and we're surprised to see so much yes support. Maybe we misunderstood something, although there isn't much to misunderstand. This is one of the few referendum that has a good distribution of votes. It has 1 million yes, about 1.5 million no. Reward voters, similar to what Australia does. Australia does not reward voters, but it punishes non-voters with a fine. So this proposal suggests that 1% of annual inflation be given directly to voters. We think not. It's too experimental, and I'm not sure the inflation is going to productive parties. Although voting in an informed way is certainly desirable and very important. The chain is not going to be any better than its voters. But yeah, but we're probably a no. We are a no. Okay, next, add a comment box to every proposal so that users can voice their opinion on what is being proposed. All right, this is, I think, the second proposal on which we are going against the community. We really don't think it's a big deal at all, one way or the other. But there are already so many active channels of communication: Telegram, YouTube, Zoom calls, private conversations, emails. I think there's pretty good debate. Reddit, there's good debate already. I'm not sure this would add anything, but though it's not a big deal, we will vote no. All right, should we adopt the EOS Community Constitution? We think the EOS Community Constitution is an improvement on the launch constitution. However, at this time, we have a slight preference for the EOS user agreement, mostly because of its simplicity and expedience. And though we're not without concerns, and we articulate those concerns here in this essay, EOS as a Frontier. Okay, let's create a credible agency or site that can tell you how much Block Producer is working. First of all, we absolutely love this idea. We think that CryptoLions works circles around most other block producers, and the more credible information there is about block producer work and performance, the better it is for us. However, this is not necessarily community business, and it sort of already exists. For example, Morio or Mirio, what was it called, run by Blockchain Kid, that had great block producer rating system. So we will probably abstain, but this has our enthusiastic support just because we think, we think the better information is out there, the better we as CryptoLions will do. Next, protocol level block producer rotation. Okay, this is one of 2 or 3 proposals that kind of suggest block producer rotation. And we say yes, we like the idea for a variety of reasons: to get the standbys into the game, to test their readiness. So our vote is yes. And I want to emphasize that CryptoLions on our YouTube channel, there's a video of us declaring yes on this issue when we were a top 21. So you cannot say that we're only saying yes because we are a standby. We have in fact gone on record saying yes when we were top 21. All right, make Rex voting happen, guys and girls, smiley face. Yes, let's make Rex happen. Block producer minimum requirements. All right, this is a very short, pitifully short proposal without any details. So shame on you, Crypto Ranger. But yeah, absolutely, let's enforce minimum requirements. Okay, this is another version of what we read earlier: standby block producer rotation, and for the same reasons articulated earlier, yes, let's do it. All right. When staking, users should be able to optionally increase their future unstaking duration. So instead of doing the default 3 days of unstaking, maybe for an additional security measure, I want to do 7 or 14 or however many days. I think this is a great idea, so this is yes. Next, let's get the exchanges to develop a voting tool. This is wonderful. I want to see as many engaged voters as possible. This is Korean, if I'm not mistaken, and it comes from Korea Partner. So we definitely want exchanges to make voting possible and to let their users vote and express themselves through the exchange. So this has our resounding support. However, because it's sort of third-party business, exchange business, we will abstain and just drop a memo expressing our support. All right, spread out the WPS tokens evenly to everyone. No, we agree with this resounding no from the community. I'm not sure the inflation is going to productive parties if we do that. Reduce the annual inflation to 1%. From EOS Vibes. Yes, absolutely. Let's do this. Should referendum polls have a small cost in order to eliminate spam proposals? It's not a problem yet. It's only a theoretical problem. And since we're talking about 1 to 10 EOS, this is totally not a big deal. But yes. Yes, let's do it. Another good proposal from Colin T. Crypto. Should EOS adopt the EOS user agreement in place of the interim constitution? We have a slight preference for the user agreement. We will abstain for reasons that we articulated earlier, but we will add a memo saying that we prefer the user agreement. Should we establish an EOS Commons development program as outlined in this referendum? Well, I will give this to EOS Alliance 2. This is the best written proposal, the most readable, the most detailed, the most structured by far. After some consideration, we will vote no. It seems like all pressing needs are being taken care of by the community or by block producers trying to make a name for themselves. And this opens up too big a vector for abuse. The second most popular referendum with over 22 million votes. Should we delete the EOS Core Arbitration Forum? Yes, delete it. They have lost legitimacy. And the most popular one, should EOS tokens from EOS Ramfee and the name auctions be allocated to Rex? Here we vote yes with the community, and we're a little surprised that there aren't more no votes. I guess in our imagination we thought some whales might want to have more exclusive, they might want to have more, a bigger share of the resources market so they could rent their tokens for more. But they either are thinking more long-term, which we're happy to see, or they're not paying attention. So that's all good. Yes, let's do this. Okay, so that's where we are on all 26 referendums, which have more than 1 million votes. Cheers, good night everyone, and vote for CryptoLions if you like what we're doing.